Hello, welcome to another vlog. So, it's been a couple of weeks now since I last vlogged, so this is interesting. I missed it so much. I am still off work and I have a lot of appointments this week. Been feeling up and down health-wise, but I really want to use this as an extra distraction for myself, so I'm actually not gonna speak about my health. I'm just addressing it. Vlog when I can, in the little moments in between of when I can't, and speak to you about other stuff. Maybe there's not gonna be enough to even put out, but I mean, hopefully it'll be fine. I have a hospital appointment later on. I actually put some makeup on to make myself feel a bit less crap. You know, fake it till you make it kind of thing. So I thought I might as well try and vlog as much as I can and just say, oh god, just say hello to you guys because I really miss you. It's been hard, but again, I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm just gonna be faking it till I make it pretty much, but just being honest at the beginning so you know what's up. So how are you guys? I really hope that you've been well, and if not, that you're okay. If you're not been doing well, just know that that's okay as well. Like, we don't have to put this much pressure on ourselves to always be fine and always perform and always do a million gazillion things. Anyway, I have like pretty much no reading to update you on. I almost finished The Rise of Kyoshi before everything tumbled around me, and then I stopped right here. Hopefully at some point this week I'll actually finish this, but there has been absolutely zilch of reading being done, which is one thing I do not feel guilty about it because, like, you know, this week my main goal is to obviously go to all of the appointments and such. But if I could, I would love to set up my bullet journal because I didn't do that last month because obvious reasons. But I actually have 2 boxes with me, and because I don't know when I'm gonna be doing the main videos again, I thought I'll open them here on the vlog. So I have myself a book box club and an owl crate. Let's open them both because it's just how we roll. Let's start with the book box club, because this one was delivered first. I'll leave the links to both of these boxes down below. They are sent to me in exchange for an honest review, as you guys know. So this is how that looks like. We have an envelope with what would be your name, I assume, that tells you all about the meetup with the author and the book club, where you can obviously talk about the book. Magical Realms was the theme of this, so I'm really excited. All the details on that on the other side. Then we have the book on top. It's a hardcover again, so that's really cool. Okay, we'll leave that till the last though and see what we have here. Ooh, okay, we have a magnetic bookmark, and this one is for Princess Mononoke actually, and it opens here. Oh, and this is done by Four Seasons Fox. That's cool. I do like it. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I do like it. I might give this to Jade next time we see each other. Then we have the Great Woods of Narnia Butter Bath Melt. Ooh, what's a bath melt? Looks really pretty. So we have this like gold shimmer, and what's a bath melt? I feel like I don't know. Oh, sorry, this is Spirited Away magnetic bookmark. Bath Melt by Shimmer and Lux. Turn your bathtub into a pine-scented Narnia forest, but less spiky, with a skin-soothing bath melt. So I suppose it just melts in the bath? Interesting. Ooh, smells really nice. Then we have a pin, which I think is for the night circus. Yeah, it is. It says it right there. Pin looks like. So we have the circus and the clock there. Room spray. It says Elsewhere. Water lily, coastal waves, and other worlds is the scent of this. So let me just try a little bit. Oh, it's actually really lovely. It's quite like fresh and subtle. I always found that I quite like water lily scents. It's a generous size as well. We have ourselves a book sleeve. We've never had a book sleeve in Book Box Club, I think, or at least like this type of book sleeve. So this is by Sparrow and Wolf. They have their really cute card here. Stationery and Homewares brand, apparently. Never heard of them, but we'll check them out. Exclusive to Book Box Club, and it looks really beautiful. Between the pages of a book is a beautiful place. I really like it, and it's like really kind of soft and cushiony, and then some promotional items at the bottom. But let's get to the book. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. The 10,000 Doors of January. What Book Box Club always brings me, like books that I did not know about. It is such a stunning book. I don't know if my camera is being a bit weird because of the light. It's actually quite dark. It's only like 2 o'clock, but it's like full on darkness. But here is, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Such a stunning book. We have a signed book plate for ourselves. Ooh, look at the chapter numbers. Okay, how does it look like underneath? It's just normal black with gold spine. Let me have a look. Okay, so the main character is actually called January, and apparently she's very peculiar herself, but she finds a book that smells of different worlds, and every page reveals more impossible truths about the world, and January discovers a story increasingly entwined with her own. So my favorite item, honestly, is definitely a book sleeve. These babies are obviously expensive as well, so you have your value. I think I am intrigued by the book, so this and the book, and the pin is beautiful. Not the biggest fan of the magnetic bookmark. The bath melt will be used once I know that I can take baths, because now they make me feel 100 times worse afterwards. I don't know what it is. And the room spray is actually really lovely. So a very strong box from Book Box Club. Very happy with it. Let me know what you guys think, and let's move on to Owl Crate. Quite heavy this time. Fear the Night. Oh, it's the one with like 2 books, I think. I'm not massively into horror themes. I don't really watch horror movies. I'm scared as it is most of the time, so I don't like to inflict that to myself on purpose. So this might be a big miss for me, but we'll see what the items are. I don't normally like the Halloween-ish type of items in general, so October time is usually pretty sad for me in the book boxes, but let's see. Oh, okay, okay. I take that back for now because this pin is bloody beautiful. So this is a bit more like the Day of the Dead, but with those flowers. Oh my god, I love this design. We have this, which I thought at first maybe gloves, but don't think so. Keep Your Bones Warm Fingerless Gloves. Oh, they are gloves. So they have like these kind of like piratey looking bones and skull combo, and so this is that. I really personally don't like this at all. I'm sure there's gonna be people who absolutely love that though. Then we have Bones Coffee. Oh, we had that before from them, I think. Caramel Corn. I see what they did there. I do appreciate the puns. Caramel Corn. Owl Crate exclusive. So this is a coffee sample. So I am currently, sadly, caffeine free, which has been a journey on itself, but hopefully I might be allowed caffeine soon again, maybe at some point, so I'll be definitely trying this. Okay, next up we have Fear the Night Trinket Dish. Okay, okay. It's actually way less colorful than I thought it would be, which love that. So it has a little bit of a black marble vibe, and it says, "Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful," by Mary Shelley. And I like that, and it's black and gold, which suits my aesthetic somewhat. Big fan of that. Really like it, which is great because I was afraid with this theme. Okay, and then as I said, we're gonna have 2 books. So the first one is by Penguin Horror, The Haunting of Hill House and Shirley Jackson. Very floppy, which is obviously the thing you needed to know. No live organism can continue for long to exist under conditions of absolute reality. So I feel like this is like a haunting house kind of scenario of things. I can't really see a synopsis anywhere, but I will just go ahead and assume that this is like a haunted house manor type of thing. I'm assuming there's probably a group of people that come in and then house claims one of them for itself or something like that. I am not against reading horror books, it's just the movies that get me. Not that I have read many, I still have those black library books that I didn't get to, but I do want to, so maybe I should give this a go. I don't know, let me guys know if you have read this. Then there is a print that says, "Beware the Autumn People." Oh, I think "Beware the Autumn People" is just the quote. It's a pretty cool one. Reminds me of Prisoner of Azkaban, because obviously all I think about is Harry Potter. Exclusive free preview of The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. And then we have finally come to our book. So it's The Bone House. It's a stunning cover. Signed, it is, ooh, like an old-timey book underneath. Oh, that actually sounds really cool. Okay, so there is this girl who's a grave digger, but obviously the dead don't always stay dead. And then there's Alice, an apprentice map maker with a mysterious past. Bone houses, which is what they call the risen dead, attack him with like newfound ferocity, and why? And both of these characters then will have to somehow face the curse that was put upon this graveyard. Sounds really interesting. Let me know if you have read this or know someone who's done that and if you think it's good or not. Then there's obviously the reader letter. Peek and see what their exclusive cover looks like. Oh, so it's white instead of black. I actually really like that. I like that change because sometimes it's a difficult, but like I do like this one. And then the next one, ooh, Dawn of a New World, and it looks very sci-fi-y, so you guys know I'm excited because big fan of sci-fi. And every October box will contain an exclusive item for your kitchen from Little Inklings Designs. So I feel like this box had like a mixture of hit and misses for me personally, which was to be expected due to the theme. But even then I still got a lot of hits, which is admirable. Mainly I absolutely love the pin. I think it's #1 for me, and then the tray. Can you sense the theme that I like? They're both beautiful, stunning, love that a lot. The biggest miss for me is the gloves. It's just not something I would personally wear, and I just don't like them. But the quality is nice, you know, so it's just me. I'm excited by both of these books. This one more than that. I don't usually like penguin books for some reason. It's just a vibe. But I'm very excited. Let me know if you know anything about either of these or if you've read it, or you know the drill, just let me know if they're good. Print is alright, it's very Tim Burton-y if you are into that kind of vibe, and obviously coffee, not something I can use at the moment, but hopefully in the future. Let me know what you thought. My battery's flashing because I've probably been talking for a while. My voice is going, so I'll see you in a bit. Logan should be back not too long from now. He's been home for most of the 2 weeks that I've been home as well, because in case I need someone to call the ambulance. But he's at work now, but he's coming back earlier. I'm gonna go and make myself something to eat, I think, and chat to you in a bit. Hello, it is Thursday. Yesterday was a bit of a hard day, so I didn't vlog, but I did end up, after my clinics, I did end up meeting Codie and Gavin, because Gavin was visiting, so that was really lovely. I didn't vlog. I don't know if they vlogged before I met them, but it was very, very lovely. So that was definitely the highlight of my yesterday. I am continuing to work on my bullet journal, and it's my absolute favorite. I'm actually like in love with it. Me and the bullet journal currently are having a relationship. I love it. I don't know if I'll be able to use it because I don't want to like ruin it. I'm not done with it at all, but like I'm taking it like day at a time. My camera's about to die. But yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit of makeup on. So I thought I'll put you on here so I can chat with you while I do that. But I have not read anything. I swear to God, I keep meaning to, but then other things come over, and it's fine, you know. It's not a priority by any means. I'm just like, yeah. I really want to go back to reading. I will be going back to work next week because I can't not work for that long. I've been off work for, it's gonna be 3 weeks after this week. I've never had that before. It's weird. I wish it was more of a holiday rather than a game of survival, but obviously this isn't a holiday, it's sick leave. Yeah, I'm gonna be going back to work next week, so I don't know how my body and everything is gonna be handling that. But I would love to actually do some reading for a change because, well, I miss it. I miss it, but I'm not pushing myself or anything in that regard. I just need to go back, but I don't know how like tired I'm gonna be and everything. And I also have another course of treatment to try, but other than that, at the moment, it's very much a waiting game. Unfortunately, nothing faster can be done. I said I wasn't gonna speak about health, but it's like odd because that is what I do. That is what I've been doing these past like weeks, is just like getting tests and going to the clinics over and over and over again and spending my savings on that. But you wouldn't believe the experience I had outside of that clinic. So in other news, as you are watching this, hopefully another video has gone out, not of me, but of Logan. We actually wanted to do that maybe last week, but it was just, we never really ended up doing it because like other things came up, or like health stuff, and he actually got ill as well. Later today he's gonna hopefully film a video of his top 10, and we actually, one of the evenings when I was really needing a distraction, I wrote down the books that he read and liked, and then we went through a Copile system, which is my rating system for those who don't know. We went through that, and it was such a lovely evening actually. Like, I wasn't feeling great, but it was such an amazing distraction, and it was so lovely to just go through a Copile system with him, because he doesn't like rating books, but he doesn't mind using the system like that because it's more in depth. But like, other than that, it's just like, can you rate them? So how do you guys compare it with others? But so, and according to Copile, then we rated the top 10, and that would be his top 10 of all time that he's read. And he was sort of supposed to film that, so I have something to post in between all of my disappearing. I did say to him, like, you don't have to do it now because I am planning on coming back, but he still said he wants to. I have some cool ideas that I want to do, but all of them kind of require a bit more time. One a bit less than the other idea, so I might just see if I can do that soon. Because that would be a really fun video, and also, you know, before someone else did it. If maybe someone else already has done it, I didn't check actually. I'd love to finish The Rise of Kyoshi at least by the end of this week. It's ridiculous because I only have like 100 pages or so left, which is still a bit, I suppose. I legitimately cannot see anything. Like, this is all guesswork because I take my glasses off for this and I just guess. That's how I do it. Oh yeah, and also Fairy arrived today, so I might as well just open it here as well because I opened the other two here, so I'll retake another picture for the thumbnail with all 3 of the boxes, and let's just make this a vlog of an epic bookish unboxings. I do have some other boxes, but this one just fits because I opened other bookish boxes already, so might go ahead and do that. I'm so excited because it's gonna be such an amazing box. Like, oh, in my super biased opinion, because my day job is with Fingerless. So excited. Oh, I'm an idiot, she exclaimed. Okay. I did actually finish something, and I did start something, completely slipped my mind. I finished Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban because I'm listening to that while I was doing my bullet journal, of course, because, well, one, it doesn't matter if I focus too much on the bullet journal and miss something, because obviously, like, I know what happens. This is my, like, I'm not even joking, must be like at least a 50th of times of rereading Harry Potter. Just like, I actually finished it, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start the 4th one as well, because I still have a lot of bullet journaling to do, and it's good before bed if I'm having an anxious night. Just constantly gonna go through Harry Potter books as if there's not enough other things to read. But if it does the trick, you know what, why not? And this time I actually really appreciated Sirius's character, which is not always my favorite-ish. I never dislike him. I just always fight people when they say that he's a good parent figure, like a father figure, because he's not. That's one thing he really isn't good at. I know it's a lot of people's favorite movie. It's not my favorite movie, but like, I feel like the book is rising in the ranks at the moment because I really enjoyed it. Another thing that I've started with Logan yesterday is Dark Dawn on audiobook. We do have a physical one, but we sort of wanted to listen to it together before bed. But the thing is that I was very shattered yesterday, so we put it only on 15 minutes. But I think I only lasted like 3 and then fell asleep, so I think I'll have to re-listen to that, and then we hopefully will put it on before we actually go to bed, so we're just in bed like drinking tea or something. I don't know if we're gonna continue and try and listen to this all together because that would take forever, or if we're gonna maybe do parts and like catch up and do bits together if we're on the same spot or something. I'm not entirely certain how that's gonna work, but I can't really tell you what I think because I only listened to like 3 minutes and then I fell asleep, so you know. Okay, so let us get into Fairy as well. The theme is actually witches be crazy, which really fits my bullet journal currently, but that's how the box looks like when you open it. This is the beautiful print from Tara with the modern witch, which is Be Crazy, with all the details on the other side. Ooh, I'm so excited to show you guys. Okay, getting in closer. So first up, we have a Cauldron bath bomb with this really fun box design, and once you open, ta-da! Cute! Okay. This is melon scented. Ooh, I love that. I love that smell. Really, really fun once I can have bats again. This is done by Little Hearts Gifts. Then we have a Not Your Basic Witch enamel pin, which is sort of like a Starbucks-ish cup with a design of a witch, and it says Not Your Basic Witch, and I absolutely love it. This is designed by my absolute favorite pin company, which is That's Lovely Dear, which is also a channel by Chami on YouTube. What do you guys think? I love it. I love a sassy pin. Fun fact, I designed the little card that this is on, like the doodles. I did those. Not that anyone cares. Then we have a playing card deck. This one is a little bit different from the previous one. Silver edges, woo, fancy. And it actually features quite a few characters because every, what are they called? Like the thing, every, oh my god. Like spades and hearts and what are they called? Anyway, have different fandoms on them, so they're all the same on the back. So we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Throne of Glass. Believe it or not, we have Charmed, which is one of my absolute favorite shows of all time. And last but not least, we also have art that is inspired by our book of the month. So this is for that book, which I'm not gonna name just yet. That's the deck of cards. You guys know I love decks of cards. The art was done by two artists. So one was Obsidian and the other one was Crooked Dew. Then we have some more metal straws because you can't have enough, but these are different from the previous chrome colored ones. There's a spoolie, I think, as well. So there's a little card, a nice, like really nice spoolie, and two metal straws, but they're like dotted. Having a beauty guru moment here. There we go. They're dotted and there is a saying witch on one side and magic on the other one. I use metal straws on the daily, so this is gonna be put to a very good use. And then we have a pair of socks, but for the first time it's actually fluffy socks. I'm so excited. This is Witches Be Crazy fluffy socks. This is brought to you by Team Fairy Loot. I am in love. Okay, they're really, really soft and they have this witch's hat on both sides all around your ankle, and they're like short ones and they're so fluffy. I love them. We have a very heavy-duty massive tote bag and I absolutely love it. I actually had a sample sent to me before, so I've been already secretly using this one, but I absolutely adore it. It's really, really sort of like a thick, heavy-duty material, as I said, so it's different from the previous ones. It has black straps, can't think, and all of these like witchy doodles. So we have some crystals, a Ouija board thing, I don't know, some moss, some bones, some mushrooms, some candles, you know, the usual. And this is designed by Band of Weirdos, which is a really cool brand. Then we have a little sticky notepad, which is inspired by our quirkiest witch, Luna. It says, just as sane as I am. This is designed within the team of Fairy Loot, by Lauren to be specific. It's like a sticky one, so you can stick your notes. Then we have the next two cards in the Tarot collection, this Ace of Cups and the High Priestess. These are characters from Shatter Me. I was right, yay! And these are again done by Rowena Art. And we come to the show stealer, obviously, the book and the pouch. And this one has shimmery pages again, like Sorcery of Thorns did, but this time it's golden. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? It's like shimmery. Don't know how well you'll be able to see that. Oh, it's actually bigger than I expected it to be. We have the fairy scoop, we have the matching bookmark, the theme art, we have the author letter with art by Saint Dree of the characters of this book. And the book is ta-da-da-da, Serpent and Dove, which actually is also the book that was nominated by Codie in our Rate Read review. And today's kind of last day and I don't see the vote changing, so it's actually the winner. So that's our next pick as well, which is handy now that I have it. It's signed by the author with these end pages as well. To top that all off, this one just basically has everything. It has artwork in the inside of the dust jacket, again by Saint Dree. Very festive. All I know about the book is that obviously it has witches and that there's supposed a fair bit of romance, because I think the witch is married off to a witch hunter and then they have to like battle it out or something, or go battle something else. Is about the war between witches and church. I don't really want to know much more because I know I'm going to be reading this, but also I've heard only great things about this so far, so I have very high expectations for this, for better or worse. Over 500 pages. Better get started on this pretty soon then. My personal favorite items are... I love the tote bag and I use it all the bloody time. I will be using the straws like every day, so I obviously like that. I really love the pin and the socks. The socks are probably gonna go on my feet like now. And I love the rest. I honestly love every single item of this, but I know I'm not like unbiased with the box, so I don't know how much my opinions count here. I'm really excited to see what you guys think. Are you planning on reading this book? I hope you are. I hope you're gonna be reading this and then discussing it with us on the Rate review. But yeah, I'm gonna go clean up. I'm gonna go... I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to figure out. At some point in my life, I do need to clean up because it's gotten to a really, really ridiculous point. But you know, priorities. Hola! It's Friday and I actually kind of woke up feeling a little bit like ill in general, on top of having like a bad breathing day, but I am gonna try my best and make it to the hairdressers because I really need to fix the hair situation to make myself just feel a less shit, because this is like a month overdue now. I am already on chapter 10 of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire because apparently I have no chill when it comes to Harry Potter. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I just can't stop listening to it. I still have not finished The Rise of Kyoshi because all my spare time is spent on the bullet journal, and I don't know whether you're gonna see this before or after, but like I'm so obsessed with it. I know this is peak. This is my bullet journal peak, and everything after this is just legitimately gonna be downhill because I don't think I've ever liked the theme that much. Anyway, Hazies. There's been a lack of cat footage in this vlog. I'm sorry. Hey, baby. Say hi. Yes, such a good boy. Oh, am I making you itchy? I'd say I'll take the Rise of Kyoshi with me, but who am I kidding? It's way too loud for me there to read, so I usually just end up sitting on my phone, not legitimately, but like while looking at something on my phone. I better finish this by the end of this week. I went and changed back into my cozy hooder. Okay. I actually filmed the video. I am very low on energy. Yeah, I go back from the hairdressers. I like the color, but like it looks okay, but it's actually like very floofy and not really like straightened. So I like it when it's like that, but like in reality when you take like separate bits, it's like very shaggy looking. But that's because it was only like dried and no irons were involved. But I like the color and I survived the drive there. My anxiety was acting up and making me be really uncomfortable. But yeah, my plan now is to finish my bullet journal, which is like legitimately, I do like 2 pages a day, and this is like the 4th day or something, 5th day. I am on chapter 12 now, so I'm just gonna crack that up again, find out what I want to do with the weekly spread. Oh, also cute, my mom found a little piece of what are they called? I don't know. What is this? She found this little piece of cloth, I don't know, some sort of tag that they had on me when I was born, so I wouldn't get mixed up with other kids, because for some reason they kept the kids separately and would only bring them back when it was like feeding time. Unpack that psychologically. But she found that, so now I know exactly when I was born, because I knew it was 3 o'clock, like in the afternoon, but it's actually 10 to 3, so now I know for sure. Oh shit, I wonder if that changes one of the spreads that I have. I don't think it would, but I thought I'll pop that in there because it was very fun and like very cute. But also she sent me a photo that really cheered me up when I was having like a bit of a shit time today. Apparently there is a mall, or like multiple malls, I don't know, where my parents live currently, and my dad put like some spray or something in one of the 2 first holes that appeared like at the edge of their property, just to like steer it away to the other side, because they don't really mind the mall, but they just don't want it to like fuck up the main beds. But I think the mall got really offended, and is legitimately coming for them, like it's coming to their house, like towards the house. I'll pop the picture here as well. I found it hilarious. I don't know, I just like imagining the mall just legitimately being upset and just coming for them, like I'm not really, I don't know. Anyway, guess what?
Oh, hi.
No, we're showing this in. Guess what? Something's happening, but more importantly though, cat. Hello. Sorry. It's like rude, put it back. Hello, so it is, oh hey Momo. Make an appearance. It's Friday. No, it's Saturday, and something exciting is brewing, but you guys probably could tell from the wheel. Very excited. I love having some sort of TBRs that need to, you know, fit something, as you'll know from my readathons. But this has been, we wanted to do this for like months now, so I'm very excited. I picked the prompts that are gonna go on it at the beginning while at Codie's when Gav was visiting. So we're finally doing this. Very excited. Cats really like the bag, apparently. But yeah, if you're not familiar, this is the wheel of TBR that this lovely lady makes. I'll link her down below, obviously, although I'm sure you guys know. Super excited. That's gonna be October's stuff.
Should be fun.
Should be fun. So let's go ahead and like try and attach it somehow.
This is going to be the trickiest part.
Yeah.
We may have to take some stuff off your shelves.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Definitely the ones.
What about the fairy lights? They might stop there.
I feel like maybe, unless I find like a longer nail or some stuff.
I did bring a selection.
Ooh. Very nice. Good, because I actually don't think I have any. So see, so you're very interested in this. Well, this is post-wheel. Post-wheel. Why am I so close?
Post-wheel trauma, that's what I have.
And I think it went really well. I don't know, we'll see when I edit. I have some big boys, and I have some little boys to read.
Mississippi boys.
Some Mississippi boys.
In the city boys.
Yeah, I think it went well. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Did you enjoy watching?
Yes. I got the live
Me struggle to speak.
I love the live version.
Yes, and now we're just waiting for Massey to come over, and then we are going to nerd out. Logan's setting this up now, just because like we print some stuff, but then you had like how many pages did you have here, Logan?
Quite a few, over 70.
Yeah, so we're like, maybe we'll just hook it to the computer. For some visuals.
I love how extra this is.
I mean, I feel like it runs in the family, not that I'm related to Logan, just to clarify.
Oh my god.
Today's plan is to eat first and then edit a bullet journal video, post that bullet journal video, at some point finish Kyoshi, weekly reflection and tarot section for those who are interested. Oh, I missed that one so much. Maybe redo my nails. I like my nails, but they've been growing out now, so it's been like over a week. But yeah, that's my Sunday. It's almost 3 o'clock. 1 minute to 3. Gonna sit down and finally attempt reading Kyoshi. I have how much left? Like 100 pages, I think. Yeah, I'm planning to put a face mask on. Logan's there. Sad. What you doing?
Making up picture collages for D&D.
Making up picture collages. So we're just gonna have like a very Sunday. Oh, don't forget your tea. Comfortable? Yeah. It's 6:20. I've taken some mental detours. Me and Logan started talking about why some people are right-winged. So we started talking politics a little bit for a while there, but that's fine. Very, very close to the end. I have like 30 pages. I think I had a little bit over 100, but I'm also a slow reader, so you know. Logan nipped to the shop, thank God, to get us some snacks, because I'd just been like, ugh. I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and then give you my thoughts on it, but I thought I'll update you, because why not? So I've just finished The Rise of Kyoshi. Actually, there was a bit in the very end. There was, you know, this big climax of the scene, and it really delivered, because I was a bit worried, like at parts it seemed a bit too gentle, I want to say, but obviously this has the Avatar style throughout, and often they also drop these like nuggets of wisdom, which I really appreciate, you know, with the whole Avatar philosophy and stuff. And at the end, it really delivered, and I love this because it definitely did not treat characters as safe. There were deaths from like the main characters, some that you didn't expect, some were very anticlimactic, so it made it very kind of raw, and I really appreciate that. And then especially at the very end of the book, as I said, the very, you know, like the main kind of fight, although there were a lot of fights in this, is quite action-full, but it has a good balance of action and, you know, slower parts of the book. But I really, really enjoyed how it ended. I thought, I did not see that coming, and it was also so very, I want to say pleasing, but it's probably not the correct thing to say about it, but it was like, I had chills. It was really good. I really, really enjoyed it. And an ending really means a lot to me. Ending can add or take away a star in my books, pun intended, haha. But usually I wait a couple of days before I rate my books, but I decided to just go ahead and do this one with you guys. So I'm gonna run it through Compile just now and see where it lands. For the characters, I think I'm gonna give this like 7.5. Characters were good, and in any scene I knew who is who, which is very important, especially with names that are unfamiliar to me and easy to mix up. So I knew who everyone is, and I was invested in quite a few characters, but I didn't really get too attached to any. I actually like our main character quite a bit, which does not always happen. I usually like the secondary characters a bit more, almost as a rule, but I did really care for her, and if the deaths did happen in the book, even the characters that I wasn't feeling too attached to, I felt quite a lot for them, like quite a lot of sympathy. So I give it 7.5 because it was good, but it was not like amazing. I wish there was a little bit more in that, but I'm excited to continue because this is not the last in the series. For the atmosphere, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 0.5. It's hard. It's a little bit hard to rate this because I can see it visually very clearly, and I actually see it when I read this. I see it through the animation style that Avatar was, but obviously I'm already familiar with the world and how the magic looks like, so it really did aid me in imagining this while I read, but it was also made it very easy to go back into that. For the writing style, I think I'm gonna actually give it like a 9, because I didn't really have a lot of many issues with it at all. It was easy to read. Sometimes, as I said, there was some wisdom, but it, like the main point for me in enjoyment of this book with the writing style is that how easily, again, I slipped back into the Avatar or the Last Airbender world. Plot-wise, I think it moved fairly quickly. It has a good balance between the action and non-action bits. Slowed down a little bit around one point. I think that's when I stopped it, but I also had to come back from that point after like 3 weeks of a break. So it was a bit difficult, but there was only one point I think that was a bit slower, and it was actually a heist part. So I think most people will fly through that, but for me sometimes the action bits are where I struggle because I don't, like, quite frankly, I just don't really care about the action. I don't need to know what happens with what muscle and who's striking whom, and it just kind of drags for me. There's a lot of descriptions usually involved in fight scenes, but because I know the elemental magic here so much from the anime, I feel like it was much easier for me to go through those. So even though it is quite action-packed, I think that plot was probably a 9 as well. It was pretty good. For intrigue, I'm gonna give it a 9 as well because all the above points kind of apply for this. I was intrigued because I wanted to see what she's gonna do next, because she's often put in the position where there are very limited options, but she has to obviously push through and somehow get to this point. For logic, there was only one bit that it was a bit striking for me, and it was a little bit of maybe a surprising turn regarding power. There is a certain character that seems to be very influential, and I found that his struggle with a certain pursuit was a bit more than I thought it would be for someone in his position. But other than that, I didn't really have much of an issue, so I'm gonna give it an 8.5. And for the enjoyment, I'm gonna give it a 9. But again, I think that would really depend if you're a fan of the Avatar: The Last Airbender. I do not really recommend this book for people who have not seen it. I mean, you can read it, but again, as I said, it doesn't really go through any explanation of what the Avatar is. It just kind of goes in almost expecting that you know. So I would definitely recommend this book for fans of Avatar, but not necessarily for those who are outside of the fandom. But for those outside of the fandom, I highly recommend the show first and then the book, because the show is definitely worth watching as well. So it's 8.6, which is a pretty high 4-star, which pretty much is what I thought it would be. I'm very, very excited for the second book. I feel like I will probably enjoy it more just because I will already be familiar with the characters and the backstory. I will be a bit more invested into it because there's obviously a lot of introductory action going on here, because we're meeting the people who are presumably gonna be in the second one as well. Well, actually, it legitimately ends on to be continued, so we definitely know there's gonna be more. So technically I finished 2 books this week, but one was an audiobook of Harry Potter, so I don't know how much do I even count that at this point of me rereading it for the gazillionth of time. Oh yeah, I have some letters actually to open because Logan brought it back from the PO box. So 1 second. So first of all, thank you in advance, because this really, really brings a smile to my face. And anyway, so the first one is addressed to my PO box, and it says Ex Libris G on the other side, and it's really cute with this like glitter tape. Oh, it has a pin in it. Ooh. Oh, head girl pin. There we are. Cute. Oh, and then this beautiful card. Oh, this is from Ruth Samworth. Oh, well, you have passed all of the 12 hours while still sitting your Muggle exams. Well done. I would not have ever. And you got your diploma from a genealogist career. Thank you so much for sending this to me. It means so much. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, and I cannot wait for us to have another magical adventure together if you will join us. Thank you. Thank you for sending the card. That is absolutely unnecessarily amazing of you. Then there is this way. I'm just gonna cover the address. This letter with all of these little stamps. Oh, this is from someone who goes by the letter N. I can relate. Also, as you said, your name is too hard to pronounce. I feel ya. You've been with my channel for 2 or 3 years now. Oh my god, thank you. I don't know why you keep coming back, but I definitely appreciate it. I absolutely love that you guys include what career you went for in the magical readathon. So Anne went for herbologist. I love that your cat is named Minerva. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed Heartstopper. I feel like it's hard not to enjoy it because it's so like wholesome. Thank you for what you're saying about Harry Potter related content here. It means a lot to me. I really hope that your health has improved. It sounds like you know how it feels going through something. Yeah, I just really hope that you're good. If you're watching this, please let me know how you're doing now. And thank you so much for what you're saying. And you are helping me with by sending your story to me, so thank you. Then there is a card, another one from Bunny and Jess. They actually sent me a howler, which was hilarious. They kind of shouted at me to get well, which was just so thank you so much, both of you guys. Like, I love you so much. I hope you know. I think you know. Like, if you don't know, then like, why don't you know? I don't know. And then there is this beautiful package from Alice. Oh, cute! So this is a Harry Potter postcard with the proclamation, educational decree number 68. Do you guys remember which one that is? I would be like so highly impressed if you did. All student organizations are henceforth disbanded. Any student in non-compliance will be expelled. So cute. Is this your drawing? This is a drawing. Always be yourself. This is a Luna drawing. How cute is that? That is so cute. Thank you. Soon to be a lawyer. Well done. Thank you so much, Alice. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the readathon as well. I keep saying that. I know how it sounds, but it is true. Without you guys, it would not be magical. It wouldn't be nothing. So really, you don't need to thank me. You need to just thank each other, you know? And if you make friends during it, then my job here is done. So yeah, I think this is a good spot for reflection time. And I actually accidentally already have tea, but as always, I really encourage you to make yourself one. Slow down for a little bit, maybe have a reflection time of your own week, and as always, let me know what you've been up to this week, or actually a couple of weeks now, because I haven't seen you in a while, have I? So let me know what you've been reading, what's been happening, what are some hardships, what are some positive things that happened, because even though I suck at replying to every comment, I can guarantee you that I read every single one of them. I actually have the notifications not turned off, so I get a notification every time someone comments because I read it like instantly. So reflection time. What has this week been to me? When your health is quite bad, you kind of realize what you don't have time for, because any moment or any minute that you are feeling okay or close to okay is so precious that you really realize what you don't have time for. What I don't have time for is, and it's something that is like clearly obvious, but it's something that I want to enforce even more so in my life going forward. Although I have already lived very strongly within those values, but I don't have time for manipulative people. I don't want to play games with any type of manipulations, emotional or just for funsies. And I actually am pretty good at spotting those. I don't know if I've always been good, even before going to study psychology. Not that we studied like manipulation or anything, but it does give you a little bit more of a eye for clues and verbal and physical cues of such behaviors. But it's just something I don't really want to spend my mental energy on. Nothing happened or anything, by the way. It's just like something that popped into my head, so I'm talking because it's reflection time. I'm just saying, I suppose that every moment when you are feeling okay, does not pass without notice for me now, because it never really did, because I've struggled with health issues for the majority of my life. I've always quite like appreciated good days, now even more than ever. Not even good days, but good moments. And I really want to put even more effort in the future to not letting any part of my life externally to have enough influence to ruin those moments. So say I don't have a migraine, I don't have breathing issues, I mentally feel okay, then someone says something, or someone messages you in a passive aggressive way or in a guilt tripping way, or someone tags you in something, and it's just stuff like that, and I would then spiral into negative thoughts of any type. I want to eliminate that, and I want to work on myself not reacting to those triggers and knowing that it's not my issue, you know? And I really, really urge a lot of people to do the same, because I feel like it's very hard nowadays, because there's a lot of shenanigans going on, a lot of projecting going on. Yeah, I was watching some really cool little, like a documentary kind of things, but like really easy documentaries on Netflix called Mind Explained. There's like a whole series of things. I highly recommend if you want something on. It's only like 20 minutes maximum, I think, on various topics, including anxiety, but a lot of other things like dreaming and memory, and well, not a lot. There's only like 7 episodes or something like that. But it was really cool, especially the mindfulness and the meditation part. And I was watching that, and I was saying to Logan, oh my god, I would actually, like, it sparked something inside of me. I said I would actually love to be a meditation trainer. Like, I would love that as a hobby, or like a side income, or whatever. Like, I don't know, just probably as a hobby. Something I would be so passionate about. So I'm trying to meditate again. I used to a little bit, but definitely not an expert. Nor would I ever probably call myself that, but I feel like I would be able to guide someone in very simple type of meditation, which is something sometimes all you really need. What else happened? My migraines came back, so that's not very positive. They were away for a blissful, I want to say blissful, but I had other issues that did not make it blissful at all. But I'm trying to just like not get angry at it, and just, you know, not really welcome it, but kind of befriend it. I'm happy that I finally finished the Kyoshi book, and I also made my bullet journal video, which I will link somewhere here as well. And I also, I met Gav because Gav came over, and we went to Codie's. It was actually really good timing, because I was a bit bummed after, because I met them straight after one of my appointments with a doctor that was very unproductive and not progressive. Didn't really get the answers I was hoping for. Didn't get any answers, to be fair. Told that it's just like a waiting game. So it was the cheer up that I needed, and I love them both dearly. They are really, really golden people. Going back to work tomorrow, and I'm hopefully gonna be okay in it. Other than that, I feel like that's about it. That's about it for this week. Oh, something else that I didn't really mention. I have like 6 A3 sheets of plans of another magical readathon bit. Suggestive eyebrows. That should hopefully be at the end of November through December. I feel like it's gonna actually be like a longer one, but less intense. So it's still like a mini readathon, but actually time-wise it might be a month again. Who knows? I'm very excited to see if I can make that happen, because it will all depend on some technical things, which I just didn't really have the mental or physical health to sort yet. But I have sat down and planned it, which was a bit of a mind game, but I did it, and I'm very excited if that happens. Hope you like it, because it sounds like fun. I think it would be fun. Hopefully you'll think it's fun. But yeah, I think that's it for the reflection time. I feel like I covered most of the parts, and the last bit is the weekly reading bit. So if you're not interested in that part and the meditation type of guidance focal points, tarot or oracle reading, this is where I say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. So goodbye to those who are not interested in the next part, but for those who are, let's get to that. Okay, so welcome to the tarot bag. Maybe focus on what would you like to achieve next week, because oftentimes what we want to see in a card subconsciously or consciously, that's what we will see. I use the cards mainly for the subconscious part that maybe I didn't know I wanted to focus, like for certain words will trigger a certain reaction in me that I might not have had if I didn't use the cards, and that is why I like them. Today I have a massive rose quartz. I don't know, you thought maybe it's small, but it's actually really massive rose quartz because there's never enough self-love, and that is what I'm gonna focus today. It's just loads of self-love. And I'm actually gonna be using two entirely different decks that you have, well, one you have not seen me show you, and one you did see me show you, but you have not seen me use it. The one that you did see was, you guessed it, the rune deck. The one that I doodled in my bullet journal, the one that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I don't actually use these very often. I use them more on important days I really need something or really need to concentrate, and you guys are important, so I'm using it today. So that's the pile of runes. Very excited to see what happens with them. And the next one is the newer one. It is a Magic and Mediums Oracle deck. So today actually I'm not using any tarot cards, so we'll see how that goes. That's how the decks look like on these. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so now I know because of the way the light hits, because it's actually dark. This one seems the most shiniest, but take your time picking the pile. If you want 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, whichever you prefer, whichever calls to you. If it doesn't, just pick one at random and trust your gut. And let's see what you have to say. Okay, so let's start from the first one. We have Birch Goddess. Birch is actually one of my favorite trees, just some random fact for you guys. Birch is also a tree that my family gets the sort of like a birch water drink from. I make it sound like my parents are kind of shamans, but it's really healthy. It says that the birch tree was a symbol of fertility in older myths, but also used in healing, and it is the first tree to awaken in the spring. So at the very core of this rune is the connection between mother and child, but also our connection to earth. It's a card of healing. So I wish I kind of picked it, but I did not. So as I mentioned, this rune does have a lot of symbolism for fertility, and it could be literal. If you are trying to conceive, this might be an encouraging sign, but it can also just symbolize a fertility in your creative fields or your career, especially. But it also speaks volumes of being patient, because that's what mothers are. If there's one thing that all mothers need to be, is patient, and with time you will find that a lot of things will fall into place financially, socially, and love life. But again, in health, things should be improving. But because this also speaks about health improvements, I feel like this is a good reminder that we need to rejuvenate and renew, and nobody's gonna do that for us unless we do. So take this maybe as a sign to do something extra for yourself. Maybe take a couple of days off if you can. Just focus on renewing your energy and feeling better. And also take a moment to appreciate those who do heal you in more ways than just one. So maybe be that a doctor, or more likely someone in your family, your loved one, or your sibling. This is not a card that speaks of being loud. This is actually a card that kind of urges you to enrich with silence, and through silence look at people and listen to people more and absorb everything around you. Now for the oracle card, we got higher self. So the way I see this, it basically talks about your higher self and your lower self. Your higher self is your joy, it is your happiness, and it's your hobbies and passions, is the things that drive you, and your lower self are things that are a bit more mundane and possibly drag you through things that are not as enjoyable. So by embracing your passions and allowing yourself to be lifted by them, you will see that being your higher or lower self is merely a choice. Making choices either lift you up or drag you down is a reflection of which self you are allowing yourself to be. It is advantageous to be a little bit more conscious of how certain activities or certain things you do in your free time or even at work, how they make you feel. Maybe it's actually a good exercise probably to write it down to see what things actually make you very content, that you might not have noticed before, which things actually bring you stress, and if there's anything else that you can do to make them less stressful. So this is basically a card to follow your gut, but also to let your happiness guide you, to note the things that make you happy, because they might be very minuscule and not easily noticeable, but once you notice that and it's easy to implicate in your life, it can really improve it. It's somewhat of a reminder to be your authentic self, not just follow something that you see on social media that supposedly is going to make you happy but it doesn't, or it just yields very short-term rewards. To just focus instead of things that are sustainable that you could do every day. Okay, moving on to the second one, we got the ice. Okay, Isa represents stillness, focus, and purity of ice. In Norse mythology, the creation of the universe was out of mating these two elements, fire and ice. At the same time, in Norse mythology, ice represents the feminine principle, the stillness and preparation for a new life. It says, when not kept under control, the ego self can take paths of superficial desire and self-glorification. Isa, the rune Isa, urges you to pause, meditate, and gather knowledge before moving forward to bigger actions. This is basically a card of a pause. It does kind of urge us to take a more calm, static point in our social life, to maybe redirect ourselves in our course of action, or just have a good think of if we are spending our communicative hours wisely. It says that those around you may be giving you space because they care for you. So if you do experience lack of socializing, it might be because you need it. Ice and Love Life does urge you to be very self-aware and try and check if there's any distance between your partner, if you do have one. If you do have a lot of big decisions coming up, this also kind of urges to stop and think. Have a good think before making any type of decisions. Being overly into your routine and stopping yourself from any type of spontaneous action can really lead into being very restricted. However, this is a good period for meditation and rest. So it's not all about just being stagnated. There are plus sides to being still, especially in this type of time that we live in. Being busy is glorified, and it's frankly ridiculous. Not one bit healthy, but it is glorified, and it's good to remember that stillness is not your enemy, nor is it a sign of weakness. Stillness can be very beneficial as long as it's not too prolonged. And as it goes, usually, there's calm before the storm, so this could be your calm before your creativity just explodes or life starts moving really quickly, so you actually can really rejoice into those moments of stillness before life gets really hectic. Sorry, camera died. Moving on to the oracle card, we got nature. Nature is basically your little reminder, that nature has healing powers, and you can't really argue with that because it is calming. Calmness can really help you go through a lot of trauma and a lot of restlessness. So I would personally interpret this card a reminder to honestly just take a walk if life gets a little bit much, or even to enforce that calmness from the card underneath. I think those two go really well together, because if you have a forest nearby, if you live in a big city, if you have a park nearby, go to it. Actually spend some time in nature, especially before it gets really cold outside. Your diet obviously has a lot of influence on how you're feeling, because actually your gut health influences anxiety to a very big degree that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. Now, I'm not the one to lecture anyone about their eating habits, because mine are a mess, but it's always a good reminder that you are what you eat to an extent, and it might be a good time to actually, you know, get a little bit back on track if you're a bit off track, or if you are being too strict with yourself, maybe allow yourself something more than you normally do, and look at the stars. You know, it's beautiful, and we forget to admire that sometimes. So I feel like the whole setup in the second and the middle pile, I feel it all just calls to stop and pause and meditate and be calm. It's a beautiful selection, I feel, especially if you've been feeling overwhelmed. This is a good time to slow down and not beat yourself up about not being busy. And then let's go to the third one that I picked as well. So we have Mankind. This rune may also represent your family or social circle and friends, and the common goals that unite us. All goals and purposes shared between all of us is what in the end brings us closer and unites us together to greater, stronger force. So Mana's rune is a reminder that we are all one. It also urges to be very aware, but also to use your rational mind and your intelligence and your analytical thinking. It's a lot about logic in this card. Socially, it shows a period of plenty of activity and communication, with you being the center of the attention. I mean, for me personally, that matches me being back to YouTube, so that makes sense. But it could also be that if you have been either a bit distanced from people, or just haven't spoken to anyone about something that worries you or something that makes you happy, it might be good to actually open up, because a lot of us are one of the two types, and if you are the type of person that talks mainly about others and is more of a listener than a sharer, which is completely fine, it's up to you obviously, but it might be a good time to actually talk about yourself a little bit, either celebrate yourself or talk about something that worries you. There's nothing wrong about being in the center of attention for a little while and center of the conversation. I know not everyone is comfortable with that, but it could be very therapeutic. For the love life, the Manas card generally represents a very open and healthy communication, so it's a fairly positive card, I'd say, showing maturity. And for health in here it says harmony and balance of your inner and outer self, health, immunity, and vitality. Let's hope so, guys. To me, this card, because I obviously just read the book, reminds me of the air temple and their philosophy, because it really reminds us to be kinder. This is a Hufflepuff card. It reminds us to be kinder and to not harm anyone, very much like a doctor. And when it says do not harm anyone, do not forget to include yourself in that, because I feel like self-sabotage, we all do it in one way or another, and we don't always know that we're doing it. So another thing to maybe look out for is to notice things like tiny self-sabotages that you might do throughout the day that you don't really pay attention to unless you seek them out. And let's see about our sacrifice. Lovely. Modern day sacrifice is you sacrificing your time, sometimes your health, do not recommend obviously, to your passions, or sacrificing your time for very selfless reasons such as donating or volunteering. Neither of these can, like, obviously sometimes these are done for more of a selfish, like clean consciousness kind of purposes, but overall they're still very beneficial for the society. So this could be a good time to consider a donation if you can to anything that you believe in, or it could also be shown as a time to focus on your current projects, and maybe for a very short time period let yourself be consumed by it. If it's something that really drives you, if it's something that you want to spend a whole 3 or 4 days focusing on, in a with healthy breaks, obviously. Maybe it's a good time to just really block your diary for that particular project and get consumed by it, and sacrifice your time you would spend on other things that are not currently as important in your life towards something that you're very deeply passionate about. So that is the sacrifice card. So it's not as scary as it sounded. Okay, and those are the cards. Let me know as always which one you picked, because it's always interesting for me to hear. Let me know if you thought it hit the spot and resonated within something that you are experiencing or going through or wanting to go through. Focus on something and set yourself some goals. Don't take any of this too seriously. Obviously, it's just for guidance purposes if you enjoy it. But now that is it from me for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I can't wait to chat with you in the comments down below. And yeah, stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.